Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Celebration of Courage. My name is Maggie LaRocca, and I am the Executive Director of Exhale to Inhale. We are so thrilled to welcome each and every one of you to our first ever virtual gala. You are invited here tonight to help us to ensure that our mission to bring the healing power of trauma-informed yoga to survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault can continue to support those most in need. We've all felt the impact of social isolation this year. For survivors of domestic violence and other forms of sexual or gender-based violence, 2020 has brought added challenges. Stay-at-home orders meant people were locked in with their abusers. Resources that they depend on, like financial opportunities, childcare, and social support, disappeared or were only available in a limited way. Finding a space, a moment, a time to breathe can be next to impossible. But that is where Exhale to Inhale comes in. We believe in healing, we believe in empowerment, and we do this through trauma-informed yoga and the trauma-sensitive communities that we build through our trainings. Now I'd like to share a little bit about the night ahead. Thanks to the incredible planning of our Gala committee, led by our Gala chair, Tina Militich, and our logistics chair, Tiffany Schiller, it will be an evening to inspire, to enjoy, and to take action. In the next 45 minutes or so, we will be introducing you to members of our community who exemplify courage, from our honorees to our keynote speaker to our courageous survivor story. The work that we do together also brings hope. And tonight we will also celebrate the light that we have found in 2020 with some engaging entertainment from Kumbe Dance, classical guitarist Kenji Haba, and Signature A, an a cappella group straight from UCLA. By now, you've received your auction login from Greater Giving. For optimal participation tonight, we encourage you to have 2 devices on hand, one to watch the program and one to check out our auction items. And if you're able to donate generously. Tonight is about celebration of community, but it is also about making sure that we can continue our mission. With a modest budget, only 3 full-time staff, a fellowship program, and the incredible support of our volunteer community, board members, and young professional board members, we are able to keep our operating expenses low. But this is our most critical event of the year. Our big courageous goal is to raise $100,000, which is nearly a third of our 2020 budget. We ask for your support in doing that, and in return, we give you our commitment to uphold our mission.
Hello, I am Aditi Davre, the Chief Program Officer at Exhale to Inhale. It has been an incredible year for Exhale to Inhale as we have seen community members reach out to us and express their need for support, and all along we've been here. Whether through our trauma-informed yoga classes at agencies and shelters, or our classes for the general public, or through our trainings for teachers and healthcare providers, we have been humbled by the need for our services and remain unwavering in our resolve to support survivors and the communities that support them. Despite the conditions that COVID created, our team of dedicated teachers and staff were committed to offer all our services online, where access is open to all and students can join from anywhere. For the past 8 years, Exhale to Inhale, in partnership with agencies and shelters, has served over 3,000 individuals who have attended over 7,500 classes. Our services will continue through this unprecedented pandemic. Weekly classes are available online through our 35 nonprofit partners, and monthly classes are available for the general public during the year. We remain committed to training yoga teachers and healthcare practitioners alike in our trauma-informed methodology to ensure that they have and can be a source of support. In 2020 alone, Exhale to Inhale trained over 130 students in this modality. We also continue to do the work to ensure that access to our training is equitable and inclusive. In fall 2019, Exhale to Inhale updated its scholarship program to prioritize equity and to ensure that our teachers represent the clients that we serve. Due to the generosity of Flamingo, through the 2019 and 2020 scholarship program, Exhale to Inhale awarded full training scholarships to 24 candidates to further this goal of access and equity. Our scholarship candidates go on to teach for Exhale to Inhale and bring this essential program to life in shelters and agencies. We have gratitude for our teaching community and are grateful for their relentless dedication. I would now like to invite my colleague, Sophia Holly, to share her thanks and introduce you to the Committee of Teachers accepting this award.
Thank you, Aditi. Once again, I am Sophia Holly, Program Manager and Fellow at Exhale to Inhale. We are thrilled to offer our dedicated teachers the 2020 Spiritual Activist Award. The Spiritual Activist Award honors individuals who display passion and commitment to share yoga and mindfulness with others in order to truly create meaningful change in the world. Over the past several years, we have witnessed the courage, dedication, and selfless service of all of our teachers. Their commitment to this work is the heart of Exhale to Inhale. The difference our teachers make in our students' lives has a ripple effect from one person to another, making this work even more impactful. They've shown up to our shelter and partner facilities, eager to serve and share the power of trauma-informed yoga. Additionally, they attend continuing education and other community events with their fellow teachers. Since March of this year, we've been navigating a new online landscape. Our teachers have continued to show up by recording sessions or attending community events with us, regardless of this barrier. Exhale to Inhale would not be possible without our teachers. They continue to inspire our students daily. We've chosen 3 amazing teachers to accept this award. Natasha Johnson, activist and artist and founder of Globalizing Gender, the nonprofit working to prevent and reform gender-based violence. Dr. Christina Jones, a family physician for over 20 years, who empowers her patients with tools to reach their health potential, including tools such as yoga and mindfulness. And Matty Espino, Exhale to Inhale fellow and an advanced full-time yoga teacher with over 800 hours of yoga certifications, including certifications in yoga for kids and teens, trauma survivors, restorative and yin yoga. Matty, Christina, and Natasha embody the mission of Exhale to Inhale, and we are so grateful they could join us in accepting this award.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for giving the Spiritual Activist Award to our Exhale to Inhale teachers, past and present. My name is Matty Espino, a current ETI fellow and teacher, and it is truly an honor to accept this award on behalf of the teachers, along with my fellow colleagues, Natasha and Chris. My story begins with Exhale to Inhale simply as a curiosity to explore more about trauma-informed yoga in a time when I felt that the impact of the word trauma itself was being reduced to a buzzword within yoga spaces. So with an intention of adding more tools to the yoga teaching toolbox, I enrolled in ETI's trauma-informed yoga training in the fall of 2018. The training itself shed so much light onto the importance of the work we do and the impact we as teachers can create. I got so much out of the training, yet to be honest, I originally did not plan to volunteer teach for this community. Whether it was my own busy schedule or worry that I might not have a place in the community, I left the training feeling pretty complete. However, fast forward through volunteering at family justice centers to participating in numerous workshops to creating digital content for a space to breathe, I think it's safe to say that I was wrong in my original assumption. And thank goodness. ETI has impacted my teaching and leading capabilities in profound ways, and I forever will be grateful for that. It has truly been a pleasure to learn and grow with Exhale to Inhale, be welcomed by the community, and be an advocate for their mission in empowering and supporting survivors of domestic assault and sexual violence. As an ETI teacher who has had the privilege to work with many of our current teachers, I can attest that a major attribute of our organization is the commitment to courage, adaptability, and care that all our teachers take. Our teachers are the heart and soul of this organization and truly serve as the link to bringing forth the vision of ETI to light. For me, teaching for ETI has given me a bigger why for the why do I teach yoga piece. It has made me mindful, cognizant, and empathetic toward the experiences of others, thus reinforcing my own personal reasons for why I teach. I'm so excited to see what the future holds for ETI and thank the organization for the knowledge and experience that you've given me.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christina Jones, a board-certified family physician, and I've been involved with Exhale to Inhale for about 3 years, and it has been my utmost pleasure to be involved with this very, very special organization. I also humbly accept the Spirit Award on behalf of all the teachers at Exhale to Inhale, past and present. They have all inspired me. I personally teach for Exhale to Inhale to be able to give back to a group of people that might not otherwise have the ability to access care and support. They might not have the privilege to just pop into a yoga class and thus not benefit from the very healing properties of yoga. The trauma-informed yoga training I have acquired from Exhale to Inhale gives me the ability to share this amazing healing practice with those in need. Exhale to Inhale has a group, as well as the other teachers, continue to inspire me on the daily to keep on teaching and providing a safe place for survivors to heal. Namaste and thank you.
Hi, my name is Natasha Johnson. I'm an attorney, artist, activist, educator, and yoga teacher. And I've been a yoga teacher for ETI for the past 2 years, and I've been so grateful to be a part of this community. Like my colleagues, Chris and Matty, I'm humbly accept this award on behalf of the other ETI yoga teachers with a sense of gratitude and appreciation, particularly in a year like 2020, which has for many of us been like a year of no other. So if ever there was a time to think about how to incorporate wellness practices, this is the time. I teach for ETI because it's another way to be directly connected to developing long-term approaches that break the cycle of power and control. When survivors of domestic violence and other forms of gender-based violence are able to integrate wellness practices like yoga into their rubric of life, they have additional tools that assist them in keeping that cycle forever broken. They have the opportunity to get reconnected to their bodies, reminded of their value, and restored towards humanity. If I can help be a conduit of that by spending 60 minutes on a mat or on a chair, I do it again and again and again. And so with that, I hope that I am in chorus with my fellow colleagues and saying thank you so much for this recognition. And we greet you in the South African word of Sawabona, which means I see you and you are noted. Thank you.
The impact of domestic violence and other forms of sexual violence during COVID-19 has sadly been making headlines lately. The United Nations Population Fund recently estimated that for every 3 months of shelter in place or full quarantine orders, an additional 15 million cases of gender-based violence will occur across the world that wouldn't have in the absence of COVID-19. The lack of information, scarcity of resources, and limited mobility create life-threatening conditions to those in need. With these dire statistics, the work of the New York City Family Justice Centers has never been more important. Operated by the Mayor's Office to End Domestic and Gender-Based Violence, the FJCs are multidisciplinary service centers that provide social services, civil, legal, and criminal justice assistance for survivors and their children, all under one roof. We have been fortunate to work with these centers in all 5 boroughs and can attest to the dedicated leadership of these organizations. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce and welcome Jenise Jenkins, the Director of Programs and Operations for the New York City Family Justice Centers, who will be receiving the Champion of Justice Award on behalf of all FJCs.
Good evening, and thank you, Maggie, for such a warm introduction. This evening's gala has been wonderful and so inspiring. Who would have thought that we would have had to gather virtually, but here we are. And Maggie, you all have done a phenomenal job with the gala and the lineup of events in commemoration of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. On behalf of Commissioner Cecile Noel, of the Mayor's Office to End Domestic and Gender-Based Violence, NGBV, and the Family Justice Centers, thank you, Maggie, Zoe, and Sophia, and the entire Exhale to Inhale team for such an incredible honor and acknowledgement of our office's work. It's easy to champion for individuals who you admire because in the face of trauma and adversity, they find the courage, sometimes courage they didn't realize they had, to journey through, change their life, the lives of their children, to rewrite their story. That is what the survivors we serve through the Family Justice Centers demonstrate every day, courage. Operated by NGBV, the New York City Family Justice Centers, the largest network of FJCs in a city nationwide, are multidisciplinary centers that help connect survivors of domestic and gender-based violence and their children to vital social and legal services like case management, economic empowerment services, counseling, civil legal assistance, and criminal justice advocacy. Although created to be walk-in centers, during this time, the NGBV staff and 40+ FJC on-site community-based and city agency partners have had to pivot from a walk-in service model to provide services remotely by phone and online platforms. It wasn't a small feat, to say the least. We have and are continuing to persevere and embody the strength and resilience shown by the survivors who courageously reach out for help and seek services through the Family Justice Centers. Since March 18th, the FJCs assisted over 14,000 clients, including at least 6,448 new clients. That's an average of 103 clients a day. The FJCs answered over 13,600 telephone calls to our main lines, an average of 97 a day. For the week ending October 4th, the FJCs answered 570 telephone calls, an average of 114 calls a day. Additionally, our New York City Hope website that provides information and resources has seen an average of 550 visits a day between March 18th and September 27th, compared to an average of 45 visits a day in 2020 before March 18th. I am deeply moved by the testimony of survivors who, faced with the unprecedented challenges of this time, have bravely engaged in services, fearlessly discovered their power to maintain their safety, and confidently started their healing journey. I am also inspired by the innovation and adaptability of our agency providers who have found different and creative ways to engage and support survivors and each other. Exhale to Inhale, being one of them, has continued to offer the beautiful gift of healing through yoga and has helped us provide space for many of the survivors we work with and our staff to be grounded, empowered, and healed, not only from the trauma of violence, but the traumas we face today. The FJCs have partnered with Exhale to Inhale and others to advocate for survivors of domestic and gender-based violence and their children, and to help them journey beyond the trauma and pain to discover something freeing, beautiful, and empowering. This honor is not only for NGBV and the FJCs, but for all the survivors we serve. They are the reason we fight fiercely and courageously for justice and healing. Together, let's continue to boldly and bravely stand for and with survivors of domestic sexual assault. Thank you.
Oh, 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 it's not true. Tell me I've been lied to. Crying isn't like you. What the hell did I do? Never time to let someone see right through. Ooh, baby, won't you take it back? Say you were trying to make me laugh, and nothing else to change today. You didn't mean to say I love you. I love you. Watch my heart, but I don't wanna be you. I don't wanna be you. Up all night, legs, sneak teeth and time. My heart skips a beat, turn to fly high. Maybe we should show we were meant to be. We would have been by now. To tell ourselves if we were meant to be, we would have been by now. Didn't mean to make you cry. Ooh, baby, won't you take it back? So you were trying to make me laugh, and nothing else to change today. You didn't mean to say I love you. Ooh, I love you. Watch my heart, but I don't wanna be you. I don't wanna be you. The smile that you gave me, even to ask it out, but you never came back to ask it out. I don't wanna watch my heart burn. Ooh.
What an incredible evening so far. I hope you're enjoying yourself as much as I am. Up ahead, we'll be hearing from our keynote speaker, Dave Emerson, and our founder, Zoe LePage, who will introduce one of the most moving parts of the evening, our survivor story. As you may be taking a minute to stretch your legs or fill up on your celebratory drink of choice, I want to take a moment to recognize those sponsors that have gone above and beyond to support this evening. At the warrior level, Heed Group, Regina Liang and Brian Lee, and Sharmila, Simran, and Dhiren Rao. We would also like to recognize our corporate champions who provide support throughout the year by generously supporting our programs and helping to bring public awareness to our cause. Thank you to Flamingo, Lululemon, and new for this year, Goodwin Procter. Exhale to Inhale relies upon the generosity of our donors to offer our programs. With the challenges faced because of the pandemic this year, we are relying on tonight to help us ensure our programs can continue. As part of our Celebration of Courage Gala appeal, we would like to ask everyone that is able to make a donation that is meaningful to you. Please take out your phones and text donate to 929-333-3866. 929-333-3866. And don't forget, we have a whole variety of auction items for you to choose from. When the auction opened, you should have received a link in your emails to participate in our silent auction. That link, which I'll ask you to go to now, is eticourage.ggo.bid, and you can reach it directly from your cell phone. Every dollar that we earn from tonight will go back to supporting our programs, and that is a silver lining of a virtual gala. I'd like to take a moment to introduce our keynote speaker, David Emerson. He has dedicated his life to helping domestic violence and sexual violence survivors, active duty military and veterans, and other survivors of terrorism through his innovative, trailblazing trauma work. In speaking with Dave, I'm inspired by his passion for making the world a truly better place. And it is an honor to have him here tonight with Exhale to Inhale.
Good evening. It's good to be joining you to recognize and celebrate the work of Exhale to Inhale. I'm the co-founder and co-director of the Center for Trauma and Embodiment at the Justice Resource Institute. And most relevant to this evening's event, I'm the founder of Trauma Sensitive Yoga. Since 2002, we have developed and studied our yoga model, along the way receiving the first grant given by the National Institute of Health to study, research yoga as a viable treatment for trauma. Most recently, we have concluded a 4-year research project with the VA in Atlanta, Georgia, in collaboration with partners at Emory University for female identifying veterans with PTSD and MST, military sexual trauma. The cumulative results of our research to date have indicated there's a solid evidence base for the use of trauma-sensitive yoga as a core component of treatment for complex trauma and PTSD. Having endured millennia of scrutiny and adaptation, yoga, of course, is a very big thing, which can be expressed and practiced in many different ways. In terms of our trauma-sensitive yoga model, we've narrowed things down quite a bit to some core components. To try to put it succinctly, we use yoga forms as opportunities to share power, experiment with making choices, notice what we feel in our bodies, all while honoring each other's experience as equally valid. The work is to reclaim an embodied sense of agency in the context of a relationship where no one is coerced and no one is abandoned. Our model has been scrutinized and implemented by researchers and practitioners all over the world, from hospitals in Australia to First Nations communities in the global north, to domestic violence shelters in the middle of the United States and many places in between. We're very proud of our work, but I would like to speak with you this evening about something else: courage. When thinking about courage in the context of trauma, it seems natural to consider survivors. However, upon reflection, I don't think we can do justice to survivors by focusing on courage. I don't think courage is an adequate descriptor for survivors of trauma. In fact, I don't think that language has devised a single word that is adequate to truly honor the complexity and brilliance of survival. It's tempting for the general public sometimes to think about trauma as a neatly compartmentalized event, an overpowering, profound event to be sure, but one that occurs and in time ends. Survival can then be understood as a response to that singular event that also has neat borders and distinct edges. Unfortunately, that's not the reality of trauma. In truth, trauma is a relentless, multi-limbed beast. The ancient Greeks imagined such a beast and called it the Hydra. Each time one face of the Hydra was defeated, two more, equally dangerous, would reemerge. It took extraordinary effort and skill to defeat the Hydra because it was such a relentless foe. Trauma is like this. Courage does not do full justice to the power and the skill and the resourcefulness it takes to deal with the Hydra. There's a magnificence to survival that rises above any word and must be allowed its own place of honor beyond words. Tonight, I would like to invite us to pause together and hold some space for the genius of survivorship, the savant qualities of sheer ingenuity required to manage the holistic assault of trauma, to maybe take in for a moment the truth that words will never be adequate if we intend to truly honor survivors. So if we affirm together that we won't make it easy or comfortable for ourselves by assigning a single word to survivors and then being done with it, perhaps we can then tolerate a little bit more discomfort and wonder what can be done with the idea of courage. What of those amongst us that consider ourselves allies or trauma-informed care providers? Maybe we can pose the question to ourselves, what of our courage? Are we doing enough in our positions as care provider to adequately reciprocate the kind of energy that those in the position of survivor are needing to expend? In our world, where the trauma exposure points for someone like me, a cisgender, white, male, able-bodied, college-educated person, are vastly diminished compared to a Black trans woman with a high school degree. What does it mean for me, with my lived identities, or you, to be courageous? What could it mean? Or, to put it another way, how can you, access the courage required to truly meet the needs of those of us unduly and disproportionately to the Hydra? Yes, we can and we must provide good, validated, trauma-informed care for each person that we encounter. But what about the systems that are in place that force some of us to also master the art of fighting the Hydra? Can we find within ourselves the courage to take one step closer to challenging those systems in the name of trauma stewardship? Can we each rise to the challenge of doing our part to confront the systems of oppression that are baked into society? Racism, misogyny, ableism, transphobia, and more that generate and exacerbate the trauma exposure for so many that are relentlessly targeted by these systems. Can we, especially those of us that aspire to be trauma-informed care providers, find the courage, each in our own way, to challenge these systems and to change them so that the targeted among us don't have to bear this burden alone? What I'm inviting includes the courage to imagine what it might look like for us to stop investing ourselves in systems that require some of us to spend all of our time, all of our energy in the fight for survival. For us to summon the courage to step out of our comfort zones, because some of us have greatly benefited from the systems as they are. And it may take courage for us to challenge them and demand for them to change. It will take courage for many of us who are used to being comfortable in various ways inside the system as it is. It will take courage to be uncomfortable and unsure and imperfect as we step into the work of reimagining systems without trauma and then building them. New paradigms where everyone has the luxury to rest, to fully exhale, to put down the burden and just be, without the exhausting demands of survival. Thank you for your commitment to healing, and thank you for your dedication to a world with less trauma.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tina Militich. As this year's Gala Chair, I want to thank you for being part of this very special moment in time, Exhale to Inhale's virtual gala. 2020 has been quite the year, and as a board member of Exhale to Inhale, I have found comfort in being able to give back to such a meaningful cause. I am part of this community because I recognize that all humans understand that crushing feeling of losing personal power, and I see Exhale to Inhale as a positive tool for individuals and communities to regain their inner strength and calmness. The gala, the speakers, all the wonderful and different New York City entertainers, and the entire evening was only possible through the immense generosity of sponsors and a village of volunteers. I thank you all. It inspires me and gives me hope in the future. Tonight, I would like to ask you to join me in supporting this incredible cause. Exhale to Inhale works so very hard every day to ensure they have the resources that they need to support survivors. Tonight, it is our turn to carry that weight. I have exciting news. We have an anonymous donor who's willing to match up to $5,000 tonight in donations between now and the end of the evening. You can help make that match by texting the word donate to 929-333-3866 so we can meet that match. That's text the word donate to 929-333-3866. Your support right now means that our collective impact can multiply with this match. I know we are not all together in the room tonight, but you can show your community by tagging us on social at Exhale to Inhale and use the hashtag ETIGala2020. Thank you for being here, and sincerely thank you for all you do for Exhale to Inhale. There's no better way to bring in the final section of our gala this evening than to hear from our very own founder, Zoe LePage, who will introduce one of the most courageous voices in our community. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, my name is Kenji Haba. I will be playing Sounds of Bells by Joao Pernambuco. Hope you will enjoy.
Hello, my name is Zoe LePage. I founded Exhale to Inhale in 2013 because of my belief in the power of yoga. I set out with a vision of sharing the therapeutic benefits of yoga with survivors of domestic and sexual violence. What our community has built is above and beyond what I could have imagined. This summer, I transitioned from executive director and joined the Exhale to Inhale board of directors. With total confidence in our board, staff, and our new executive director, Maggie LaRocca, I'm humbled and excited to see Exhale to Inhale reach its highest potential. Individually and collectively, 2020 has been a year that has forced us to adapt on nearly every front. In the early days of the COVID-19 crisis, it was clear to me that we needed to pivot to ensure that no matter the circumstances, we could carry forward the mission of Exhale to Inhale. Because this work is needed now more than ever, and our commitment is unwavering. If you're a longtime supporter, welcome back. And if you're joining us for the first time this evening, welcome. And to all of you, thank you. Exhale to Inhale remains strong and supported by our incredible community, with survivors at the center of what we do. I think about our students often, about the courage it takes to come to the yoga mat when you aren't quite sure, about the strength it takes to move and breathe when you're simply trying to hold it all together. And I have seen and felt firsthand how a community of support makes all the difference. For Exhale to Inhale, the last 7+ years have been fueled by individual and collective courage. And so it feels fitting to me that tonight we celebrate courage. Our impact has been made possible by individuals who show up bravely. Courageous individuals and courageous voices like our next speaker and my friend, Megan Siniscalchi. They make our work possible. I'm inspired by Megan, not for only what she does. She's an accomplished attorney and entrepreneur, but for who she is. Megan is the president of our Young Professional Board, and she is someone who moves through this world with grace, compassion, and enthusiasm. It's been a joy to get to know Megan and work with her for the last 2 years. To me, she's a true leader. She stands alongside the individuals she aims to support, and she uses her voice in the service of others. So this evening, please join me in recognizing Megan and her incredible contributions to our community.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for creating a space tonight for me to share my story with you all. My name is Megan Siniscalchi, and I am the chair of the Young Professionals Board for Exhale to Inhale. And I'm also a survivor of domestic violence. It's taken me a long time to accept those words and to really grasp that what I was experiencing with an intimate partner a few years ago was actually domestic violence. Towards the end of our relationship, there were a few moments in which physical force was used. On one occasion, I felt unsafe and attempted to call the police and was physically prevented from doing so. And on another instance, he was pinning me down, and for a brief moment, I thought to myself, I'm suffocating, I can't breathe, like this is it. But domestic violence is not just about physical abuse. And most of what I experienced with this individual, who was also battling addiction at the time, was extreme emotional abuse. It was severe gaslighting, manipulation, obsessive behavior, and I was made to feel like if I left the relationship that this person would overdose or go back to using drugs. And so this was an incredibly difficult period of my life. I felt a deep sense of shame for the situation I was in. I've never felt more weak. I remember crying to a friend saying, I'm just so weak. I know I need to get out of this situation and I just can't do it. I'm not strong enough. And I also felt a huge fear of judgment from other people about what they would think about my situation or why it was taking me so long to get out of this situation. I am a well-educated individual. I have worked extremely hard to create a successful career as an attorney in New York City. And I kept asking myself, how did I get here? Like, how did I end up in this situation where I feel so powerless and my life is just completely out of control? I never understood why survivors of domestic violence weren't able to just walk away from their abusers, just leave their abusers, until I experienced it myself. And I really learned the huge psychological impact that comes with emotional abuse from an intimate partner. Eventually, I was able to get out of this relationship. And as I started to heal, what I realized is that I had so many resources. I had a strong support system. I was going to therapy. I was financially independent. And what I realized is that there are so many individuals out there who deal with domestic violence who don't have these resources. They've been completely isolated from friends and family because of their abuser. They are financially dependent on their abuser. And so I knew as part of my healing process, I wanted to help others that didn't have the resources that I did. It was about 2 years ago that a dear friend, Tara Johnson, introduced me to Exhale to Inhale. And this was a few months after an order of protection was put in place, protecting me from my abuser. And I knew from the beginning that I wanted Exhale to Inhale to be part of my healing journey, but I really didn't know at the time how much of an impact it would have on me. The community of Exhale to Inhale is made up of some of the most kind, gracious, compassionate, thoughtful people that I have ever met. I have never once felt judged. I have been encouraged to release the shame and embarrassment that I've been harboring. And most importantly, Exhale to Inhale has given me the courage to share my story in hopes of helping other people. And I am incredibly grateful for that. This is the most public I have ever shared my story and the most detail I've gone into, and it's still terrifying. I still feel shame, and I'm scared of what people I know are gonna think after watching this. But I know with Exhale to Inhale behind me, I can do it. I can share my story in the hopes of spreading awareness and showing people that domestic violence can happen to anyone. And it's much more prevalent than we think it is. And so I just want to leave off by saying, is there anyone out there that's listening to this that has experienced domestic violence in the past or is experiencing it now, I want you to know that you are not alone. Your feelings are valid, and your healing journey is yours alone. Nobody can put a timeline on that, and nobody can tell you how to heal. I am with you. I am standing with you. Thank you so much for listening to my story, and I hope to see you all at an Exhale to Inhale event soon.
When I count all my blessings, I can't be sad anymore. Can't even be sad anymore. When I count all my blessings in my heart, look for the world I know. The world that I know. Sinking down under the water, slipping down under, drifting out into the water, missing down under. Tell me, what is it you care for? Is there even a care at all? Praying for sense of direction, praying for love and protection. Sinking down under the water, slipping down under, drifting out into the water, missing down under. Tell me, what is it you care for? Is there even a care at all? Praying for sense of direction, praying for love and protection. When I count all my blessings, I can't even be sad anymore. Can't even be sad anymore. When I count all my blessings, my heart still hurts for the world that I know. The is it you care for? Is there even a care at all? Praying for sense of direction, praying for love and protection. Have mercy, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Have mercy, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Have mercy, have mercy. Have mercy, have mercy. Have mercy, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Have mercy, have mercy, if I call on mercy, Lord. Have mercy, have mercy, have mercy, remember me. Have mercy, have mercy, if I call on mercy, have mercy. Have mercy, have mercy, have mercy, remember me.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We have truly seen so many different displays of courage, starting with all of you, willing to join us as we tried something new, a week of courage, a virtual gala right from your homes. None of it would have been possible without your support in our amazing community. Our auction will close at 9 p.m., so please be sure to place your final bids using the unique link that we shared throughout tonight's program. And of course, the party isn't over. Please join our dynamic gala duo, Tina and Tiff, for the Exhale to Inhale after party. We will announce the winner of the gala basket, have some more fun prizes, and track the auction and appeal. More entertainment and more fun. You don't want to miss it. Finally, if you haven't done so already, please donate to our Celebration of Courage Gala Appeal. Any donation, big or small, will help us keep our programs moving forward in 2021. We're not sure what tomorrow brings, but this community will continue to be here to support survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. Together, we can make a difference.